guys, hey, welcome back to the channel. First thing I'm going to do is start off with saying this is our 300th video. We've got 300 videos after, well, this will be the 300th. Alright, so, you know, some of you guys have started following us from video number 1. And thank you. And if you're a new person, you're coming onto our channel or something, hey, we appreciate the likes, the subscribes, comment, whatever. I'm an easygoing guy. I try to help. I try to advise some of these guys on some of these builds or whatever. I work on my own stuff and just kind of film it and kind of, you know, talk through it, whatever. We drift, we do all this stuff. 300 videos. And our subscribers are steadily going up. We're starting to have a lot more people pay attention to the videos. We're starting to get a lot more people that just actually watch the videos. So if you will, if you watch a lot of our videos, if you will, please subscribe, because that really helps us in the long run. But thanks for watching our videos, even if you don't. That's okay. You know, it is what it is. But thank you for watching our videos. You know, comment, whatever. Like I said, yeah, thank you guys. I can't thank you enough. And we're doing the merch. I got to do a merch plug. So check out our shirts. We're on eBay, Chesserenterprises on eBay, and you can grab one of your t-shirts from there. But yeah, man, I'm just blown away that we've done 300 videos. That's insane to me. So, all right, so let's get started. It's getting kind of late. I've been working some today. I'm just going to take a look at the S13, kind of get a game plan from where I'm going to start. I actually have to clean the inside of it first, and I got to do the dry ice thing to do the sound deadening stuff inside the car. So I have to figure out where to get the dry ice and all that, and kind of go through the process of that and figure that out. Then I got to go look at a rental. We've been working on it, and I've got some material out. I have to take some material out there, and I think I took my paint out there for this car for the interior. I think I might have accidentally carried it with me out there. So either way, so we'll go out to the rental and we'll look around there and see what's up. So first, let's look at the S13. And thank you guys for following and watching and liking and subscribing and all that. So all right, here we go. All right, so the sound deadening, I've got to get some dry ice for all that stuff. I think it's for heat too. But instead of heating it up and scraping it and it being nasty and covered in tar and stuff, you can actually take dry ice. A lot of the guys that watch this actually know this, but you can take dry ice and put it on it and make it extremely cold, and you can hit it with a hammer a couple of times and that stuff just breaks like glass. So I'm going to do all that. Most of this is out of this floor. All of it that's back there, all that's got to be done. That side there's some. And we got to do all this before we can paint it. And then once we paint it, we can actually start putting some wiring, getting ready for the wiring and the dash. And I don't have any seats for it yet, or brackets or any of that. And actually, on a lot of them, let me go to that side and I'll show you. On this side, the catalytic converter actually sits in there underneath the car. That's what that hump is, and that's called the cat hump. It literally is what that's called. So what people will do is they will cut around it, cut it all the way out, and put just plate down there to cover that, and they'll come back up to the sides and do away with that hump entirely. And I'm assuming you probably have to cut where the mounts are and everything, and have to reconfigure all that. As tight as the S14 is, I see that that's probably going to be what we need to do, because your head ends up hitting, especially with the helmet on, your head ends up hitting the roof and stuff. So we've got to deal with that, and we've got to do everything we need to do before we start trying to paint this. And I may have to wet sand the bar a little more. It's okay, but it's got a little overspray on it. It's a little rough. It's dusty more than anything. But I'll probably clear coat it too. So we still got to get the e-brake out. At some point I've got to pull the back wheels off and do that assembly and go ahead and put the rear struts on it. But we've got to pull all the stuff off the door to be able to paint it. Got to get all that ready. Any of the stuff that goes on the car, we have to pull all of it. At some point we're going to have to pull the windows. This is the bar that goes in behind the dash. We've got to clean this thing up at some point. Get a wire wheel, hit that thing, and just maybe put something on it. Just put some kind of color on it. And all this stuff back here. And then we got to pull the fuel stuff out. Make sure this tank's not full of rust. We have yet to do that. And there's still, like the old antenna stuff's got to come off. Got to pull all the seal off the rear here and make sure we get it put up so it don't get damaged any worse than it already is. Yeah, so that's going to be our next step here, is start getting the interior prepped a little more for some interior paint work so we can move this project along. I've been debating on where to put a fuel cell, or do I run the stock fueling, or what do I do here? I'm really tossing around ideas. How extreme do I get with this car? I really don't know yet. I'm just kind of feeling my way through it. But I've got some exterior body work, especially with the roof being dented in now. It does have a dent in it. So they got to fix that. And I got to finish the front cowl and stuff. So there's still a lot of work. A lot of things got to be done. And there's still some rust in here. We got to get that rust out too. So those doors have to be, you know, all the switches and all that stuff has to be took off of everything and get it ready. So that's the next step. Cage turned out pretty good though. It needs just maybe wet sanded and cleared maybe. I might use like a 4,000 grit or something, or 2,000. Wet sanded a little bit just to do whatever and throw some paint on it. So, alright. So now, I actually had to come by the shop to pick up some stuff. This stuff I got to take to the rental. So I'm going to grab that stuff, load it in the car, and I guess we'll go out to the rental and kind of poke around out there and see what's going on and make sure we don't have any roof leaks or anything. Yeah, so I've got that going on too. So, alright, here we go. Alright, so I don't know how it looks, if it's grainy or not, this shot, but I was in the car, I was thinking about the IS300. My son and I, we were debating on getting him a new, it's cold, debating on getting him a new trunk off of another car, you know, whatever car, it's got a good trunk. And well, we got thinking, for one, this car's beat all to pieces, and if we end up getting another trunk with the damage that's on that car, the trunk may not sit down and latch like it should because it was all impacted at the same time, and the trunk itself may be still kind of, you know, kicked a little. So we're gonna just run that trunk for now. I am gonna give him my tail lights off of the new IS300, the one I just got. So that'll at least get him where he can drive his car, because he was wanting to drive that. He actually had changed the tires and everything the day before. So I'm gonna give him those, and I'm gonna order me a new set, so that way I've got new ones on mine. I'm not gonna buy brand new ones and put them on his car. You know, we can't do that. I mean, I would if that's what he wanted, but for a drift car and it's already beat up and all that, the other side don't even really fit. We kind of make it work. So I guess I'm gonna order some, I guess, cheap eBay tail lights. That's probably gonna be the best deal on any of them, which I bet they're still not gonna be cheap. But I'm gonna order those, put those on mine. He's gonna take the ones from mine, that way he can go ahead and start driving his car. But I think we're gonna hold off on getting another trunk, because I don't know that it'll fit just right. Plus the car's beat up, it don't matter. But it was talking about maybe at least getting a trunk to put on it, so we'll wait for now, and we'll continue drifting that car. So I guess all the turbo stuff's still going in that car, so no sense in not fixing it, you know, honestly. We have debated on getting another shell. I push him to do it. He's not yet. He likes his car. He likes the red one pretty good, so he's really partial to that. So that's on him, whatever he decides there. But I'm all for a whole nother shell. You know, find one with a blown engine, bad transmission, something, get a good deal on it or whatever, and we'll just take all of his parts and put them onto that other car. But that, like I said, it's up to him on that. So, but I'll do it if he wants to. But yeah, all right. Either way, let's go to the rental and see what's going on there. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. We're at the rental. You can see it's kind of dark in here. There's only like one light inside this living room. But so we had a water leak right here, and the renter didn't tell me. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a 4x8 sheet of plywood, or not really plywood, it's going to be a bead board. It's going to be like something nice, you know. But we're going to cover that corner. We're going to cut it to, so like it'll shape that corner and it'll cover that. All right, so the reason we're doing that is because this tile, this ceiling tile, which when you start painting white, you lose where you're at. And I can see right there, I missed that, and then right there, and there's a couple spots. But this ceiling tile runs the entire length all the way to the middle. You see what I'm saying? So with it being that long, for one, we have to find that stuff. I don't even really know anywhere it has that. And then we have to take all that section out to actually match that. You know what I mean? So we would have to take out 2 or 3 pieces or the whole thing and redo it. Or if we sheetrock it, we have to replace everything. So there's another spot I missed. So that's why we're doing that. We're just going to put that in some kind of bead board or some kind of dress up stuff. We're still working on the walls, the bathroom. We're going to cut out some floors. You can tell it was leaking at one time. Same thing in here. There's a hole in this ceiling. I'm probably going to do the same thing with the bead board because I don't know where to get this stuff. And the ceiling's good except for right there. So we're in it 4x8 sheet, 4 foot out will cover that. So we're just going to do that same thing. And we got to replace the shower surround. And kind of keep in mind this is a rental, you know. So been doing some sheetrock work. The thing is, I took this whole wall out. This whole wall came out though before these people moved in. And I framed this whole wall, put the window in, I framed it, put it in, and then finished all the sheetrock. I think I might have even done some on this wall too. But they demolished this wall. It had brand new carpet. This is all wood now. They took all the insulation out of the walls. So we had to get insulation and redo it. Painted this ceiling. I have to paint the ceiling in there, and we'll probably just clean that because that's like a what do you call it, wallpaper. So that's just a wallpaper. So we're just going to do that. We still got to paint the room, but I have to finish all that, which is almost done. Gonna paint the doors. I've got a list of each room, what we got to do there. This room, I painted the ceiling the other day. It had been painted before by Metzger, one of my employees. So we decided it needed another coat. So I come up here the other day and I painted everything again, one more coat. He had done the walls, so I had to make sure not to get on the walls. And you know, you can see above the windows where they had curtains and all that stuff, but if we fix all that, we're going to fix it again, you know. So Stuff like that, I don't worry about that anymore. I used to. We used to go that extra mile. So I have to paint the trim, put the outlet covers back on and all that. This one, we're gonna clean it. I'm not gonna worry about that damage right there. We're just gonna leave it in the closet. We'll put a door up or whatever. They can put a curtain up if they want to. Paint that ceiling still. The door, trim, and this was all new carpet. There's our friendly neighborhood toilet. So we took this door down to put this piece of plywood in. We had to redo all that and take the toilet out, and vanity was falling through where they had leaks. And you know, a lot of this is neglect. It's not neglect in maintenance, because we tried to come in and this lady like threatened to shoot us and everything. I had to have her evicted. I had to go to court over this because she wouldn't like. So we had to take that out. So I really don't know. We may just do like a beadboard or something over it. We may take this whole ceiling out. I don't know, because we got a hang rock there. Got a hang rock there. Got a hang rock. All this has to have rock. And they had a leak up there. They didn't tell us. Wouldn't let us in. So had to take this shower, had to come completely out. This room, that had leaked. And this floor was gone. These thin trailer floors is like some kind of wafer board. And when it gets wet, it just bows up and it turns into just brittle. And so we had to pull the tub. We had to do some stuff under there. That wasn't necessarily their fault, but we had to do some maintenance there. But they had damaged the floor. We went in and took all that out. Where the water had leaked, they had got all the sheetrock wet on that side, so we went ahead and took it out. We reframed everything. We redid all the way up to the cabinets. We didn't do under them. It was pretty good. Turn this heater up tonight. So, yeah, we gotta sheetrock that, put some doors in. We gotta finish that, put the light switch back in, paint these walls. So we'll go back this way. I see a spot of mist. I'm telling you, I'm horrible. I haven't painted in a while. Yeah, I don't know where the light switch is. Let me get my phone and get a light switch going here. Have to find the light switch. Yeah, and they left this big old thing, so we've got to get it out of here at some point. In the way, the floors, they rent the floors. Yeah, we got a big hole in the kitchen floor. Oh, maybe it's back here. Oh, that's not it. Ah! Maybe it's on this side, isn't it? In the world. There's this one. So when that leaked in there, it got this floor wet, so we replaced all the floor. I'm going to tore all the sheetrock out just to make sure there wasn't any mold or anything. It's just easier while we were in here. Replaced all this, just to do the right thing, you know. So gotta put our door frames. We gotta find half this stuff. These guys have took off. Oh, I remember now. You have to plug this thing in. They've got the light hanging, and I think the switch is bad or something. I don't remember. Okay. But anyway, they got a light hanging or something. I don't know what the deal is. We'll get a new light. So they pulled the lights down to do the ceiling paint. You can see how bad it was in here. We'll have to hand paint all that back there as far as we could roll, because they had burnt the cabinets up. Yeah, so we'll have to do something with the cabinets. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We're just continuing on, but the floor had got wet here, which that's not 100% their fault, but the sink was leaking and they didn't tell me. The lady wouldn't let me in here, and it was somebody I knew, so I try not to be too upset with them, but it just made me end up looking stupid. So this floor, this room, really I've already got most of the ceiling. I've got all the ceiling, what I should have, but we got to trim it right there. Evidently I missed a spot over there. We just got to paint this room and trim out around the edges of the ceiling where it's painted. Get all behind that. Paint these walls. Finish this floor. Figure out something on the cabinets. Maybe able to sand them a little bit. And maybe try to half stain it again. I don't really know. But yeah, so we got to finish this, insulate it, cover that back up. And then once we do all the painting and all the finish work, so you can see against the wall where I need to paint. So I got to cut all that in still. But again, there's just a lot of little stuff. Sheetrock will go fast. It will actually surprise how fast it goes. Yeah. So I put all the covers back on, paint all the doors, paint all the trim, put all the trim back on. Get some new light fixtures. I'll have to take a count. I don't even know how many we need. Get some new covers because they're horrible. Have to repaint all that behind there. Well, repaint everything. The ceiling's pretty much just, you can see, and these ceilings had been painted once already, or twice maybe. So this is another, that's not a shadow, that's actually the paint line. So, needless to say, it's got to have more paint on the edges. I think it's good. I think we got enough coats on it now. We can actually continue on. But got a bunch of baggies and stuff in here. I know what they were doing. I did actually have a guy message me and get my attention and tell me, he was like, hey man, them people are trashing your rental. So I tried to start getting in here, and so what the deal is, when I deal with a rental, I decide I want to go look at it and all that, and so her not letting me in, it kind of hung me up for just a minute, trying to figure out how to get in and what to say or what to do, because you kind of got to walk on eggshells here with some of this stuff. And so I was threatened, my guys were threatened. So it kind of tapered off for a little bit. We got busy on some other stuff. Then it came back up again. Then it was the same scenario. We got busy again on some other things. And she was still paying rent. There was no problem with the rent. And I thought, well, as long as she's paying rent, it's her mess, and she wouldn't let us in. So I talked to my lawyer, and then she's responsible for any damages after that, because, I mean, if you won't let maintenance in, it becomes your responsibility at this point. So it's still not your property. You live in it. I rent you the space to live in, the comforts of the property, but it's not your home. A lot of people, I don't understand, they can't understand that. They think because their belongings are here, it's their home. You might call it home. It might be your home as far as where you live and that type of thing, but you don't own the home itself. You have no ties to it, no legality or anything. It's not your home. I just don't understand that. But yeah, so I try to do everything right. I do leases and stuff, and I try to give all the proper notices and all that stuff. And if I've had to evict you, you've just had to be horrible. I mean, you've had to either demolish the place or not pay or something. But when you start cussing me and threatening to shoot me and my guys and all that, that just, it's just childish is what that is actually. Especially from an adult. That's, and you know that you've messed up. You know what I mean? I wasn't even trying to throw this girl out. I was just trying to figure out what needed fixed and all that. I had no intentions of actually putting her out. I mean, that wasn't even the idea of it. I was just told that it was pretty rough and I need to check it out. So I followed up on it, and yeah, it just right out of the gate was being cussed and threatened, and all that. So this is part of the rental biz. That's what I do. But yeah, this is a walkthrough of the rental we're working on. We should have been done with it by now, but between me not really working a lot up here and some of the other guys are working on other projects for other people, some want to work, some don't. Some will work when they need to work, and some just want to check and don't want to do anything even when they're here. But I mean, for the most part, they work pretty good if they would just work and come up here for, let's say, 10 hours. And when they leave, there's not 10 hours worth of work between 2 or 3 people sometimes. You know, you kind of get frustrated with it, and I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars still got to be spent. You know, not only labor. I mean, every stitch of floor. You know, the carpet that was in here is gone. I mean, and we didn't take it out. The renters took it out. So we're gonna have to make that fireplace where it's not usable, because that's what the discoloration is between the fireplace and the fire in the kitchen. And my insurance won't even cover all this stuff. So as far as like, if we allow them to have a fireplace, if it burnt, then the insurance probably wouldn't want to cover it. So, yeah, this is what I'm looking at. And there's still thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars got to be spent. That's what's crazy. Flooring is not cheap, and it has went up tremendous. And it's all got to be put in. I mean, unless I do it all myself, even if I do all of it myself, which I used to do all of it myself, it's not going to happen overnight. It might take a little while, but because to get the boards to put over that stuff, then I got to cut in all this stuff. Well, I'm going to trim that out somehow, some way when I put the board up there. I'll show you what we end up doing, but got to do that. Hang. I think we got 15 pieces of sheetrock figured. Then that has to be finished. All right, so that's our 300th episode. It's not exhilarating. It's not a great, you know, we're not drifting. We're not doing a bunch of crazy stuff. It is what it is. It's the rental. But this is my life. This is what I deal with. You know, this is the stuff we deal with. This is how I make a living. And this one's eating, this double wide trailer will probably rent for, I'd say, $1,000 a month. Not bad, but more than half of that or whatever is going to be the house payment and the insurance. I mean, because I'm eating that payment right now, so but once it's rented, you know, I'll be actually making a little bit of the money, and you see that there's not that much money there if you're trying to live off of it, you know what I mean? Especially having to eat this kind of damage and repairs on one of these. Yeah, chews up some money pretty fast. So, with that being said, guys, thanks for everything. If you will, smash that subscribe button, the like button, hit the little bell lets you know we got videos, you know, we've posted or whatever. And we'll try to get some more drifting. It's getting kind of cold, and my son and I, we've debated on what we're doing for the final part of the year. So we may or may not drift. I really don't know. But that'll allow us to finish up some of the bigger projects, which is good for us. But, all right, thanks, guys.
I'm feeling high. I'm feeling